You're listening to Burn Rate and Bullshit.
The show where founders, suits, and corporate clowns all get called the fuck out.
We're Josh Robinson and Mike Nathan, entrepreneurs turned VCs.
With zero filters, strong opinions, and a bullshit detector set to high.
Welcome to the only business podcast that actually tells it like it is.
I'm a desperate man. Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan.
Corporate America spent a few years pretending to have a conscience and then bailed the minute it started hurting quarterly numbers. Bud Light, Target, ESG funds getting dragged in hearings. This isn't about values. It's about companies realizing the culture war is a grinder and they're the meat.
Every CEO swears they stand for something until a hashtag hits their P&L. And a couple governors start tweeting threats. Now you've got firms panicking, stripping off logos from pride campaigns, and burying ESG under new acronyms. This episode is about who really runs corporate messaging now. Customers, politicians, or the cowards in the C-suite.
I'm curious on your thoughts on this, Mike, just because of your political tendencies and
Sure.
how you lean.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on woke consumerism, woke corporatism?
High level, do it if you want to. I don't know if it moves the needle. As a consumer, you have the right to consume or not consume anything anybody's doing. If you want to vote, as they say, with your wallet, or to protest or boycott at all, 'tis your right as a noble lord and citizen of this country. You get to do that. Wouldn't make that my life's mission. On the other hand, that impact to large corporations where a 3 to 5% up or down is a big deal, they need to put that in their calculation. I think for a lot of companies that aren't those big, huge, large companies, probably is just nonsense. I wouldn't worry what a lot of people are thinking about. Have a great service, have a great product, focus on that. No one's paying that close of attention to what you're doing to make any sense. Focus on your core competencies. Bigger companies, I'll admit, publicly traded companies likely need to pay more attention to this nonsense than anybody else does. I think it's it can be effective at times. Ask Bud Light. It can be somewhat effective. And there are other times.
May not get the desired effect,
Yeah.
but it will be effective. Yeah.
So my take is on it. Do it. You're free to do it. I wouldn't huddle in a corner if I'm a company or a CEO or the marketing department of a company. I would play it even. Stay to your values and your strengths and whatever you think, your vision and mission is. Don't get told that externally.
I'm
seems a little
surprised.
weak.
Yeah. I'm surprised to not hear you say something to the effect that companies are part of the community that we live in. They need to show up in a corporate, socially responsible way. Like they are, in effect, another citizen, and they need to show up with certain expectations.
I'm not opposed to that view per se, but to what degree? This is where I think on Burn Rate and Bullshit, we need to call this stuff out. There is that segment that people that would say that, and it might be meaningful, but there's not a CEO on the land that's going to worry, and their top 10 things to worry about that statement that you just read.
Yeah.
There's too many. They have an absolute with a bullet number one priority of return the investment back to the shareholders, unit holders, stakeholders. Is a stakeholder the general good? Sometimes, not always, not in the way we're talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the real is that's nice to have. Is anybody actually going to do that? So that were the case, why do we have all this regulation? Why do you have to worry about like people like GE or others or Amazon not paying, corporate income tax, or corporate taxes on profit or not profit they have or other thing? They would do it because they feel a part of the community. right? And they're not individuals. Don't listen to citizens. Garbage. They're not, what did Mitt Romney say? Corporations are people too, my friend. Well, that's dumb as shit. No, they're not. They're not. So, and the flip side of that is they don't have that sort of same moral, ethical, social constraint or obligation you might think they do, because they just don't.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But I don't think people want to buy from or invest in companies that are just dicks too, just corporate jerks. Nobody wants to be around those guys. It's almost like table stakes. You can't be a complete jackass, even if your widget's amazing. You can't. Got to play cool.
But if you're donating to the Pride Parade float, you don't care one way or the other. Is your perspective?
Listen, if you're I'm going to say, I'll take the voice of the CEO or the corporation, big, small, or different. If some form of activism is a part of your mission, vision, and values, and if you're in healthcare, you're going to advocate for fitness. If you're in fitness, you're going to advocate for good food. If you're in good food, you're going to advocate for organically grown stuff, right? There's some natural fits there. Of course, advocate for that. But if I'm a meat packer and I want to make sure I'm allowed to have a fully automatic gun, I don't know how that fit, or opposite. They want to ban guns.
Yeah.
When we kill thousands of animals today, we don't do any of it with a gun. We don't think you should either, right? That doesn't mesh neatly for me. So I think it gets sloppy. It gets confusing, and it feels opportunistic or exploitative when corporations are trying to either put themselves out there like they're a better steward than what they are, or they're just trying to avoid being smeared in the paper because, a vegan in her junior year of college wants to make them a point of emphasis to how bad they are. Don't worry about it.
So I'm very much a Milton Friedman capitalist in the sense of the corporation's duty is exclusively to the shareholder. And so long as you're doing right by the shareholder, that's the extent that you need to be a good corporate citizen. And I don't think it's exactly what you're saying, but it sounds pretty similar to how you're kind of framing that up. From the consumer perspective, I just don't. I can't get my head around the mindset that some of these people must have. So, pick the topic that's most important to you. So, gun rights, animal rights, whatever it is. For you to expect a company to have a strong position, and not only a strong position,
your opinion,
but a strong position that aligns with your opinion, is absurd to me. It makes zero sense. It's like, oh, okay, well, Congress isn't doing anything about gun rights, but at least Kroger's is. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Who the hell cares what Kroger's or Walgreens or Target thinks about particular issue?
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with what you're buying from them.
I want to make sure my radishes are priced right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm...
Radishes. You eat a lot of radishes, Mike?
Radishes are
a lot
amazing.
of veggies in your diet?
That's fair. Mix in a lot of salads, for sure. Heads of lettuce.
A lot of greens.
Heads of lettuce, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to go with that, but you're 100% right. People, maybe they just don't have enough to do, or they're like, we're too fat, dumb, and lazy when part of your buying criteria or a consumer behavior 100 years ago, is it available? Can't have avocados in December mostly, or January 100 years ago, because just we're out of season. What's available? And then number 2, can I buy it? Did I give a shit about how it was produced? Any of that? And I don't mind some of the progress we've made, but it gets a little bougie when we want them to be our spirit political animals, because you like, ooh, do you like this new paint from Abbott? I don't know. Have they saved a whale this year? Because I can't support people who aren't saving whales. I mean,
there's
this
so many,
episode might get goofy
but there's so many different opinions, right? And I'm really worried about the polar bears. I'm really worried about the whales. I'm really worried about the whatever.
Yep.
And that's your issue that you now expect every company that you interact with financially to align with you on that. there's 8 billion people on this planet. There's no way you're gonna have a company that aligns with everyone's every
No.
issue. It's that's what I mean. It's absurd to me that there's this woke consumerism from a consumer perspective at all.
So these are the two examples we've talked about before. You're right. Consumer behavior is a little ridiculous to that end, and I think I don't worry about that as a long-term trend.
Well, and I think that's why your comment of don't care about it is smart, because I think oftentimes it's a very vocal minority that sounds much bigger than it really is in terms of representation of the population.
So when I think about like a good example and a bad example of, am I setting the trend or following the trend? What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody knows what happened with Bud Light.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if Bud Light was trying to do this. I think they were trying to be inclusive to their brand of white 35-plus-year-old dudes. And they thought, you know what, if we brought trans and
LGBTQ
I'll have
plus.
to edit this part.
I think we leave it as
We'll leave
is.
it.
That's pure gold.
The gay community. Is that, see,
that's not inclusive enough.
oh my God, LGBTQ plus?
Yeah.
Plus?
Nailed it.
Nailed it. And that's not that hard. I knew it. I'm just fumbling.
Mm-hmm.
They were just trying to be inclusive, but it was off brand and it came off exactly as everybody exploited it.
Mm.
You're just being a corporate mouthpiece shill. You're trying to be everything to everybody and bubblegummy and do this. That's not who you really are. Turns out they were right, because after it went to hell, they fired the person. They did all the things.
Right.
That's not who we are. They went back to it. That's a terrible, terrible way to lead there. Everybody I think agrees to that. A good one was, as we were just talking about off air, what we call it.
Sure.
Nike with Colin Kaepernick. He took us sincerely, but not without controversy, on the national anthem when black and brown people are getting killed by police officers at an alarming rate, and probably still are. And Nike supported that. They supported their athletes, and they didn't suffer. They, in fact, their stock went up when they offered him $1 million contract to do those commercials. They moved more product. Now, it didn't take him to any greater heights than where they were before, but clearly that was their audience. Supporting and making hard decisions and committing to a team or a movement. That's Nike's brand, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just go do it. I mean, if you believe in it, get up early in the morning and run, lift, work out late. Just do it, right? Yeah. And so to see an athlete stand up for a social justice issue, that didn't seem like a far stretch for Nike. It seemed at home.
Right.
So I think consumers can behave however they want. They're going to be nuts. Either way, they're going to hate you, right? There's no satisfying a particular set of folks who are just bent on their one issue. But you can only make that worse when you tried to falsely lead or exploit, like, oh, people like orange flavored ice cream. I'm going to do that now too. What are you doing? You're a meat packer. You're not in that orange ice cream.
So is your thought then most companies are just reacting to what they think needs to keep them out of the headlines?
I think Nike's the example where I think that I suppose, let me rephrase. Nike's reacting in a good way.
I would say they're an outlier, though. I don't know.
I think so, too. There might be a few other ones that make sense. But boy, the other ones that burn my ass, speaking of hollow sort of praise, or they want to get in on the good times, the good ride, the good message. Tell me again how you support veterans, fucker.
Mm-hmm.
No, you don't. Oh, I'm Apple, and I don't know if they even say this. I'm Apple. We support veterans. I'm a 3-point-something trillion dollar company, and we wrote a check for $10,000 last year.
Right.
You fucking frauds. Keep their name out of your mouth. You want to support veterans, make sure none of them are homeless.
Right.
Help with suicide prevention.
Right.
Lobby for better benefits. Get rid of the fucking VA or rebuild it. Do something. Don't tell me you support veterans. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because they always support veterans. Please apply. You look at I think I saw US Bank do this one time. And I guess I bank there, but fuck them if this is true. U.S. Bank puts something, we support veterans, please apply, you get first preference. You look at the job description, must have 5 years of this exact fucking accounting software. This is like, oh yeah, that's a lot of what the Marines do.
Yeah.
When they're over in Okinawa. It's exactly what they're doing. How the fuck are you supporting? I mean, you're using...
You get a lot of Oracle ERP
right.
experience in the Marines.
And I'm banging on U.S. Bank, but they all do it.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. Are you? Are you really? I don't know. Go donate $50 million to Wounded Warriors.
But do you think they're doing that because they feel like they need to to keep other people off their ass?
Yeah.
See, that's
it's not a humble, a bit of a humble brag. Even the Minnesota Vikings do it. They're like, oh, we supported whatever effort with $5,000.
Great.
I don't know. You're paying Justin Jefferson $40 fucking million and find something in the couch cushions with a little more than that. To be clear, I love the Vikings. Minnesota Vikings are the best organization in football. And I wish they wouldn't keep veterans out of your mouth unless you're not going to really, truly, honestly support.
Or fucking win. Could you do that, Minnesota Vikings?
Let's not turn it there. Let's keep this positive. So I think people that are woke, broke, or corporate messaging into those spaces, veteran thing bugs me. I'm for, if it's too.
That's a community that you're from, right?
So
do you think other minority communities that are being trot out this way by corporate America feel similar to how you feel with respect to the veterans example?
I think you can, especially after George Floyd.
Yeah,
we had, and I'm not calling these out as bad, but it just seemed everybody had either forgotten about it or didn't put like, hey, our people of color are underrepresented. There's 1,000 ways we can fix it, or not fix it, or let's make this equitable. And what you'll hear is Target did this. We're going to give $200 million to minority-owned companies. It's I'm not saying this correct, but they would do things like that right in the wake of that. And they're like, okay, we need to answer. And so I'm mad at them for like doing it only after the wake of George Floyd, et cetera. But it's already gone. That is gone.
Yeah.
They don't do that anymore. And I guess you get the right to change your mind. But again, go back to, is this a part of our values and our mission and our vision of what our company needs to be? That's just something you either do or you don't. I'm not saying you can't take the moment to reflect when a George Floyd or September 11th or a really big seminal moment, COVID, you get some of these big events in your life that you shouldn't reevaluate some of your values and make different decisions. But boy, all that's, you can clearly see the people, people of color definitely are sort of go in and out of favor from corporate programs or messaging. Sometimes it's hot, and now it's not. And this environment's not. I don't think they're. Today's America is not interested in hearing that story of diversity or how it's been being told.
Yeah, I would agree that
it's different today.
It's definitely, there's a difference there. So the other side of this too is sustainability. That was all the rage. So when I was going through business school, that was the thing. Everyone was talking about sustainability, ESG. It was a big part of grad school programs, talking about how you lead through that. You don't hear anyone talking about it. It used to be full-on disclosure in people's 10Ks.
Yeah.
And you don't hear public companies talking about it. You sure as shit don't hear private companies talking about it anymore. I'm curious what your thoughts are on why that may be. Why did that fall out of fashion? The other piece of it is for you to just kind of react to the whole premise of sustainability, like the carbon credits. It never made sense to me, and I wonder if this is part of why it's just kind of fallen off, is so many companies never changed their operations for the operations as a standalone to be more sustainable.
Yeah.
What they did is they bought carbon credits from companies that were more sustainable than they were, and then they didn't change anything about them. Well, they were buying them from net new companies like Tesla and other people that just didn't have a huge carbon footprint. So when you looked at our total carbon footprint, nothing changed. No one was changing any behavior. They were just buying made up things from made up companies and getting a credit for it. And they
Sounds
created this
right.
whole market for it. So whether it's right or wrong to have a sustainability initiative, I think the way we went about it was so full of bullshit.
Little abstract, yeah.
You're right.
To say the least.
That they realized that no one's even paying attention to this. It doesn't really matter. We're going to fuck it. We're just not going to do anything anymore.
So I think the fatal flaw is delayed gratification. We just don't have it. Hey, please don't pump your sewer into the fresh water so that later we can drink it. Please don't, set on fire all the tires in the world so that later we can't breathe it.
I got to get rid of them.
What are we going to do with them? They're an eyesore. When you think about, because we're just not thinking long term enough. And it's, what does it honestly do for me? This is a nice to have, not a gotta have. In a quarterly publicly traded company, it's not a gotta have. Small business startup, mom and pop.
Yeah.
This is a nice to have. It's not a gotta have.
The political winds have changed, so we're all focused on.
I gotta have
gay
a
rights, minority, whatever. Right?
This is
the fad has moved to a different spotlight.
And not that it's unimportant, but kind of like your politician, your priest, your pastor, whatever it might be, your rabbi. Don't make them be absolutely everything to everyone. A company that you happen to buy your soda from, don't expect them to have all of the values, mores, all the things you think you want them to have, and still turn a profit. Because as we know, on the other side of that ledger, the sustainability effort, right? I want to do that, but it's really hard to add 30% to my cost of goods and still have enough people buy the damn product or service and maintain a profit. You're asking me to choose. I'm going to do it the cheaper way. I'm going to pass that on to my consumers.
And if I put sustainably made on the can, no more people are going to buy it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I wish it weren't true. I wish that I wish organic food was cheaper. I wish fast food wasn't fattening. I wish sustainability was cheaper. It's just not. And so we're asking businesses to be our moral, ethical leaders. We're proper fucked. There's no way that's going to happen.
Well, and to your point earlier, there's 10 things that a CEO is worried about at any given time. This isn't, your particular issue is not going to be one of them.
Right. Well, you've been kind of a big deal, senior guy at big deal.
Some people have said
billion-dollar companies.
People have said that.
I mean, did you spend up all night? Like, how the fuck are we going to recycle
Never once.
all the water from the parking lots? Where are we going to send them?
Never fucking once did it cross my mind or anyone's mind. Like, never was that brought up, ever. Now, what was brought up is, well, how the hell are we going to survive this? Right? I think that's where more of the C-suite is spending their energy is not on, well, how do we make this sustainable? They think, how the fuck do I survive this? Whatever this is, whatever the topic du jour is for, that particular mafia, whatever it is. How do I survive this win?
Kind of like Nike did. I think there's an absolute place for corporate leadership, stewardship to step in a real authentic voice. If I'm Amazon, which now owns Whole Foods, imagine the impact they could have if they did leadership around high quality, low cost food. High quality, high cost food today, but their leadership would be really important. So I think as much as I'm being skeptical and taking shots, and you are too about some of these, when you're the global giant leader, you have to set that tone or, mark the way for us. Mark the path on how we get sustainable. How do we support Black and brown communities? How do we support veterans in a meaningful, morally values-aligned way that doesn't completely fuck the business?
Yeah.
How can we do that?
Well, I think of examples that have worked. We talked about the Nike one with Colin Kaepernick and examples that haven't. I think what makes the difference is, are they reacting because they've got conviction, or are they reacting because they have popularity? If it's popular. And
Right there.
popularity is not conviction. I think that's
right.
why sustainability has fallen off to the wayside. It was popular for a moment, but not a lot of people had conviction around it, both on the corporate side and on the consumer side. People just didn't give a fuck and
Yeah.
weren't willing to pay more to have a sustainably produced product. And so businesses figured that out, that it was, hey, popular or not, it wasn't conviction, and they moved on. And I think that's what makes the difference. I think that's why the Nike thing played as well as it did, is because they had conviction around that. That was core to who they were as a brand and as a company. They weren't doing it because it was a popular thing in the moment. They were doing it because they had conviction around it.
It's interesting. As you said that, I was thinking, bang on the corporations, and I think we both agree, like, consumers get to have their right, and the consumer behavior is going to drive all of it. It's not big deal Bobby leading the way with his multi-billion-dollar company. Consumers need to demand this stuff. I mean, talk about sustainability. I'm going to be vulnerable right now and share a story with you that when my wife goes out of town, we have considerably more DoorDash at our house. And the amount of trash that creates versus me making mac and cheese, some sort of hot dish, or grilling up burgers, it's considerable. I mean, it's like we have to empty out the garbages every day because the DoorDash, all the shit that's involved in that, right? You got plastic containers, you got cups, you got who's driving that?
How's
The
that working
consumers-
out for climate change there, Mike?
Well, not well, and I'm the consumer driving it, but I'm not the only one.
Yeah.
So be sustainable. I don't know. Are you, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, prepared to do any of this? Doesn't look like it. So I think the theme of go woke, go broke, or whatever we're saying the theme is, is you're both frauds. You're both on the hook. If it's not part of your core belief, if it's part of your core belief, you're gonna naturally buy it, or it's gonna naturally fit into your business model. Pat, how come Patagonia? If I could use your
Fratagonia.
your Fratagonia, Patagonia, they walk the walk.
They do.
They walk the walk.
Yep.
Why can't Polo do it, or Johnny O's, or one of these other great brands?
That's a great point. So Patagonia, what they stand for corporately, is antithetical to what I would expect a lot of their core customers
Right.
actually believe.
Yes.
I mean, there's the granola munching, Birkenstock wearing hippies that love Patagonia.
Your crowd.
And then there's my crowd, the Wall Street, make a ton of money, probably think more right than left,
Might.
that love Patagonia. Right? And we could give a shit less that they're writing big checks to, Ultra, the Sierra Club.
Yeah. What's wrong with Sierra Club?
Nothing. I don't care. I'm going to buy another Patagonia vest. Right? So, it doesn't bother me that they're staying true to who they are. I enjoy the product that
I
they
use
make.
them as the reason I bring them up is because they were going to do it whether it was cool or not. It
Exactly.
was in our values.
Yep.
There are companies that will. Nike's going to do it whether it's a part of their values. Sometimes it's convenient that it's the zeitgeist of the moment that gets them an extra bit of attention. But I don't know if it's not part of you, and it's okay.
That's the thing. If it is who you are, people that don't agree with that, I think for the most part, are still going to be okay with you as a company.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't agree with a lot of what Patagonia think, and it doesn't prevent me from buying anything from them.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're for forest fires and deforestation. I mean, that's what you're for.
Yeah,
Patagonia's against that, but still, make a pretty handsome vest, though.
they do make a handsome vest.
Are we at time? Is that it? What else do you want to hit on this? What then we had sustainability. We careened around a little bit. Anything around pricing of products and corporate messaging? Can I charge more if people knows this perception? They believe that. I'm a free thinker, Josh.
What creates kind of virality around some of these issues? Virality.
Can you say a different word other than virality? Because I feel like.
Can you spell that? Can you use that in a sentence?
I feel
No.
like
So
that's
what makes one of
Pentos
these
Forum
things go
thing.
viral?
What's that? Sorry, I was
What?
saying Pentos Forum virality. Scene. Let's try
What?
this again.
What? I fucking hate.
It's good B-roll.
Good B-roll. Yeah. Put this in the outtakes for the paid subscribers.
Oh wait, But we make money doing this?
Not yet. What are the conditions that create one of these things to go viral? So the Bud Light trans campaign, the Coldplay Kiss Cam concert with the CEO and his head of HR. Like, what makes those types of things go viral?
Oh my God. Well,
versus just kind of a nothing burger in terms of a corporate stance on something.
Well, I think because we can't look away, right? The examples you just gave, like, how about something that's crashing and burning? You know, watching two trains.
It's like a train wreck. You can't not watch.
You cannot look away.
Yeah.
Like the thing with the CEO and the head of HR and their Coldplay, was it?
Mm-hmm. I think it was a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Coldplay concert, like, oh my God, you can't get enough of that stuff. Or any controversy or something negative. It's kind of like sex sells, violence sells, you know. It's like clickbait. Like, I don't want to like, hey, you want to hear a really cool, fun, great ending story? No. Do you want to hear about something just crashed and burned, was the worst ever and they all died? I'm in.
Yeah.
Tell me the story. So, unfortunately, I think virality is because of the negativity or the perceived sort of shock jock value. So it's too bad we can't do, well, maybe I can talk out of both sides of my mouth. There are some examples of the shucks, feel good story. Mm-hmm. Like, I am a sucker for, you know, when you watch like the one kid who's sitting in school and their mom or dad's coming home from deployment and they tap him on the shoulder and they do things.
Yeah.
I'm a pretty tough guy. That always gets me. Those are fucking great. We need more things like that to go viral, but for like...
What's this salty discharge?
What is this? I feel emotion. But can you do that for like saving a tree? It's harder to do.
I'm sure someone could.
Somebody. Can you do that about like, hey, I wasn't a racist dickhead to this bunch of people? How do you work that into a commercial?
Yeah.
That's harder. I feel like that's the end of my train of thought there.
Okay. I think that's...
End on a bang? A banger?
You're being pretty generous by describing that as a thought, but...
Well, you're going to get some of this, some of that.
We'll go with that. I would say things that it's a surprise to people, right? You wouldn't expect the CEO and the head of HR to be canoodling in, public. Yep. Right? Or the fact that of the 60,000 people in the venue for the Coldplay concert, those are the two jackasses that get singled out on the Kiss Cam. Like, what are the odds, right?
What are the odds?
The surprise function or, kind of aspect of it, I think, plays into what makes something go viral. It's got to be visually graspable, right? Like, someone's got to be able to just look at it and be like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think there's 100% that train wreck aspect of it that's like, oh, God, this is just, whether I agree with this or disagree with this is just too good not to watch.
I'm still a sucker for clickbait. I'll be moving around on something, I'll jump on Google or wherever. Did you see the former Viking that is now making $1 trillion and be a Super Bowl contender? I'm like, who could this be? Whoever could this be? And I click on it, and then it's like Jimmy Jackson, the practice squad wide receiver that just, like, what the? This isn't.
This is not what I thought I was reading.
But I clicked on it immediately. So I think that's me, of course. I end up at some strange websites.
What else do you click on,
I end
Mike?
up at some strange web addresses. I'll tell you that.
How are things on the dark web these days, Mike?
They're lively. They're lively, let me tell you. Yeah.
I think we can end that there.
Yeah, we wrap it.
That's a wrap. That's it for this round of Burn Rate and Bullshit.
Where the only thing we sugarcoat is our coffee.
If you like what you heard, great. If you didn't, fuck you. Even better, because we're not here to make friends.
Hit subscribe and share with someone who needs a reality check. And remember, hype dies and execution wins. So stop pitching, start proving.
Next time on Burn Rate and Bullshit, if you still think Washington is tough on big business, you're not following the money. We're unpacking dark cash, record lobbying, and how both parties are happily bought and paid for.
Send lawyers, guns, and money. This shit has hit the fan.